Can I get some closure? Stay right where you are and don't come closer. If you haven't picked it up, it's over. You wanted her, so just give me what I...
Alright, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome back to another video. And before we get into today's video, guys, as usual, let me do my shameless plugins. If you're not, make sure you follow me at the appropriate social media at Tenek127, which includes Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And also, if you want more Immortals Fenyx Rising news, guides, gameplay, and stuff like that, make sure you are liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and ringing that silly bell so that way YouTube doesn't bonus all with notifications. And what is going on, guys? Wow. This is an interesting one that I've been wanting to talk about for some time, and I haven't got around and had the time to do it, honestly, because one thing about me, and I'll just be honest about something, is I'm not crazy about Google Stadia. I'm not crazy about game streaming, but I really did want to play this game. So I went ahead and made a Google Stadia account just so I could have access to Immortals Fenyx Rising. And I have to say, after spending a few hours playing the game, playing the main intro to it and all that stuff, I didn't go too deep into the demo because I didn't want to spoil the game for myself. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to checking this out when it comes out. But, yeah, I'm really honestly glad I did. haven't had any hands-on experience with the game before, as you guys know. I'm not a massive creator, so I didn't get to do like any of the press events that some of the larger YouTubers and stuff like that got to do with this game. So the Google Stadia version was really my only my only option to get some gameplay to show you guys and talk about it and stuff like that. And I gotta say, I really do really like this game. And honestly, it's just been a fun few hours. But Immortals Fenyx Rising is a game based on Greek mythology, and from first glance, if you look at it, the easiest thing to compare it to is Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I mean, when you got a lot of these open world games that look like this and stuff like that, and you have to admit, even people were trying to compare Genshin Impact to Breath of the Wild at the time, but they're two very different kinds of games. And I have to say, while this is an open world adventure, puzzle-like kind of game, kind of more, I guess it's safe to call Zelda an RPG, but this is pretty much an open world role-playing game. And an open world action RPG. It's not turn-based. Action combat, as you guys can probably see here on the screen and stuff like that. It's got puzzles. It has a lot of things in here that reminiscent to Zelda, but I have to say it's honestly a lot different. And me personally, I kind of enjoy this in this little bit of time that I've played it a bit more than Breath of the Wild. And God help me, Lord help me, because I know somebody's going to smash the dislike button and, get pissed at me for saying that. But one thing that turned me off with Breath of the Wild, and I'm going to explain a little bit of history with this, is I'm a big fan of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I was that guy who always farmed the real Big Goron sword when you played through Zelda Ocarina of Time. Whenever I hit endgame and I fought Ganon, I always had the Big Goron. And I got the true version of it, the one that you could not break. Not the one that would break a little while after being in combat, and you would get the little nudge part of it that you could hit people with. It still did more damage than the Master Sword, but it was still just a little broken nudge. No, there was a way to farm the real Big Goron sword and have it quality so that way it never broke. And every time I played through that game, I went through to get that specific version. And I hated how the fact that, there was a breakable version of it. So when I came to play Breath of the Wild later, and I saw that weapons could be broken and stuff like that, it was a nightmare. It was like I was living that nightmare of that one weapon with every single weapon I got in Breath of the Wild. If it's no secret, I really don't care too much for Breath of the Wild's survival aspect and that whole thing. But with Immortals Fenyx Rising, I don't have to worry about that. Now, granted, that's not the reason, I kind of like this game and enjoy it more than Breath of the Wild. No, it's just a different take on, the whole open world action adventure or RPG, whatever you would prefer to call it, series. And honestly, I think the game's a lot of fun. I do like the setting, the immortal Greek gods, and it's not like all stuck up like games that are usually in this kind of category. The gods, they got that kind of like that Hercules cartoon vibe to them. They're very funny. They're making jokes. There's when you're going through the intro of the game, the Zeus and one of the other gods are actually narrating your moves and storyline for you, and they're just cracking little roasts and stuff at you the whole time and everything. And it's a lot of fun. It's got some light humor to it. The main character you play is actually fully customizable. You can make a male or a female protagonist. The female protagonist is also kind of cute. The combat is fun as hell. The soundtrack is great. And the visuals are gorgeous. I mean, it even looks good on Google Stadia, which is a streaming platform. So, you got to depend a lot on bit rate and, good internet speed and stuff like that for it to look decent. And, if it looks that solid on Stadia, I can only imagine what it's going to look like on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S, which of course, is what I'll be playing it on the next gen version. PlayStation 5, PC. It's a really, really gorgeous game. And like I said, guys, the combat's a lot of fun. There's a good variety of weapons. You got great weapons. You have one-hand weapons. You have two-hand, dual style weapons, bow and arrows, and just all kinds of different things you can use. There's a good sense of character progression, leveling, and all that stuff. And there's a whole lot in here they have for you. Plus, they have a pretty good post-launch content plan. Now, granted, it's going the classic way of DLC. They're solid paid expansions that they plan on adding new content to the game later. But the thing I appreciate that Ubisoft really did here, when it comes to their DLC plan, they have already given us previews of what each expansion entails and the kind of content that they're adding. And you can tell it's just not, some missing content that was ripped out of the game. Like, each and every one of these are a whole new story experience that can't exactly fit what's already there. They're different in their own way. They belong in that game's universe, but they're so substantially different that you can tell it's actually natural added DLC instead of, just ripped out portions of the game. And honestly, I really do appreciate that. So expansions that are made like that are truly new content to the game, honestly, I don't mind paying for stuff like that, and I can definitely appreciate that kind of thing. Even though I'm a games as a service kind of guy, I do like my MMOs and expanding games and stuff like that. But if you're making honest, good DLC, I have no problem. I have no problem supporting and paying for that. But anyway, guys, I'm excited about Immortals Fenyx Rising. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it down in the comments below. But anyway, if y'all enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tznack127. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out. Take care.